So I'd just say we welcome everyone and for this celebration of the Western Button Factory. During the presentation, I'd like to give a brief overview of the history of the factory using newspaper archives, internet sources, and in particular Dominic Rooney's article published in the Leitrim Guardian in 2016. In researching the day-to-day life of the factory, I was fortunate to be able to meet with and interview several former employees, most of whom were women, but who of course then were young girls. Lots of girls from the town were employed. Names included Summers, McSharry, Waldron, Rooney, Farrell, McTiernan, Gilmurray, to name but a few. Girls also came from Dromahare, Glencar, Glenfarne and all around. Initially, people walked to work, but within a short time, transport to work for most employees was the bicycle, which was bought in Fees of Glenfarne or Bernie Connolly's in Manorhamilton. Margaret Lee recalls that Mr. Krause got them yellow oilskin capes as protection from the rain when cycling to work. She said they all looked like a bunch of yellow canaries leaving the factory at the end of their shift. What a pity we haven't got a photograph of that. The social club was a very important aspect of life in the factory. Pat Mitchell and Eileen McGovern were instrumental in setting up the social club in the 1940s. And we have here a slide of the first dance in McSharry's Hall in 1947. The club arranged dances and outings and dinner dances. There were outings to Dublin, Belfast and Bundorna and other places. Button manufacturing in Manorhamilton came to an end after 36 years. It had provided essential employment in the area and contributed handsomely to the household budget when money was scarce.
First they were blank and then they were brought to the machine and there was a design made on the machines. Our times has changed.
Good evening, everybody, and I hope you really enjoy this evening as I open a window on the past, and through that window I will talk about Leitrim women living through time. My mother was, I suppose, a remarkable woman. She was a wife, a mother of 6, a housewife, a farmer's wife, a farmer, which I'll explain later on, a seamstress, a cobbler. Do everybody know what a cobbler was? The fixed shoes, someone said down there. She was a cobbler and a bone setter. She was an 8-in-1, so she was.
Well, she was an amazing person, but I do remember my mother from a very early age. Actually, while they were being done, some people used to get upset, of course, or hurt. There was no such a thing as, to give them anything for the pain or anything. So, and then the tea would be made, and she was amazing. There was always full and plenty in the house for everybody.
Yes, well, of course, in 1960, I broke my arm. I was in the bog My brother and I were wrestling, and I was thrown down a hill, and I put my arm out and it smashed in 2 places. And Mary Alice Redican's sister, Annie Conboy, Annie Teague, set my arm that time, and it was very like the procedure you're seeing on the camera tonight, the pulling of the arm. And Annie was the expert. She did the expert putting my bones in place and all that, but my arm recovered perfectly. I've had it x-rayed many times in many hospitals since. No fault was ever found with it. That happened 63 years ago, and Annie Conboy, Annie Teague, was a real expert in what she did.
I'm Bridget Fitzpatrick from Manor Hamilton in County Leitrim, originally from County Fermanagh. Well, this is my wedding dress, and we got married on June the 13th, 1970 in Canoli. And came 2 weeks later, I came to live in Manor Hamilton.
Hi, my name is Helena Golden. I'm a basket maker based in Leitrim Village. I'm originally from Manor Hamilton, but I've been living in Leitrim Village for a number of years now. I grow 6 varieties of willow. In terms of different projects that I'm working on, at the minute I'm working with the Leitrim Heritage Office, and we're doing a really nice project on a basket that's held in the National Museum, and it's a Leitrim basket that was used for teeming potatoes. So this is the type of basket that was used for teeming potatoes in Leitrim back in the day. The black pot of potatoes was boiled over the open fire and brought out and tipped into a basket like this outside, and this basket then full of boiled potatoes was brought into the house.
My name is Steffi Otto. I run a business that's called Heritage Crafts Alive, and I try to promote a few old businesses like rope making, just to keep them alive. One of my favorite things is working with straw and rushes. There's a wide variety of items that were made out of straw, and today of course straw is not easily available anymore, so it's just one of those dying crafts.
Hello, I'm Annie Gambrell from Killala Woolcraft, based in Ballycastle, County Mayo. I'm here in Leitrim today spinning some wool from local sheep. The process of spinning would mainly be done by women. And first of all, if you were going to make something like a jumper, you would have to start with the raw wool. This is from a local Mayo sheep, and it's been shorn but unwashed.
I just have a love for these women. I don't have any PhDs or degrees, but I have a huge love of heritage. So this bag is 125 years old, and this was Mary Ann Fanning's bag, who's behind me here on the little poster. And Mary Ann was born in 1880 in Skerries in County Dublin, and she became a midwife, and her first post was in Kerry in 1898. She got a post back home where she lived in Garristown, County Dublin, and moved into the dispensary there. So thankfully her family have kept this little bag and a photograph of her, one here behind me that was taken in 1910, and they said she's roughly 30 years of age in it, in her midwifery uniform. And some of these are just a few of the items that's in the bag, and a lot of which that is very similar to today. So this is a pinard, which now they have electronic, but they still encourage the student midwives to use these to listen to the baby's heartbeat in the womb. We've pulse and temperature charts. I have a delivery set, a forceps, some of these medicines that's still used today to stop bleeding. This would have been like an enema, trying to keep out, get the woman all cleaned up before the delivery. And even carbolic soap. Some of these here now is little syringes and bits and pieces. They are very delicate and very old. There is a few more bits and pieces inside. Am Banglunia, the women of the knee, every birthing mother who was overjoyed to see. Her kindness seeked by mothers from all around, for the strength she gives, often without a sound.
Sewing is part of it, and it's mainly to encourage people to use their hands to see that these beautiful machines still work wonderfully. And today we often just use an electric machine, find out that we can't use them and throw them away, and yeah, but these still anybody can sew on them. They're very well built, they were incredibly expensive at their times, and the women in the house, they were lucky when they had a machine like this. It was, yeah, they would have paid off like we pay off for cars now. They paid off for years and years, the machines, and yeah, they were just a big part in the house. Everything got done on them. They sewed curtains, clothes, whatever. And today we just don't do this anymore, and we should do more of this again. This is what I really like. It's just a hand crank, and you turn it, and it makes this beautiful noise.
I look back and think of it now, you know, on that left-hand side where the row of chairs is, all the girls standing along there, all the men here on the right-hand side, and every hall you went was the same.
I really enjoyed the Rainbow, and they had great bands here in my time. Big Tom was my favourite.
So I've been coming here since '95, and I always found it fabulous.
The memories I have of my aunt going to the dances, we were only kids at the time, and we would watch her getting ready, and they usually had lovely dresses, taffetal dresses, and a neighbour up the road actually used to do the dressmaking and would make the dresses for them.